Your grow weather, the rain was not as common here in the week past, and the drought monitor really hasn't changed since last week. Of course, there was an improvement in Kansas in the moderate factor, and most of Nebraska, 97.17% of the Cornhusker State is drought-free. We just have this little area right over into parts of Lincoln County, southwest Nebraska, looks like Frontier, as well as Hayes. Still some drought situations going on there. So we'll see what moisture does in the week ahead. There is a chance of that coming up tomorrow night and possibly in some areas Tuesday morning. Above average, that's what the National Weather Service is looking at temperature-wise across Nebraska and Kansas for the next 6 to 10 days. That really does fall in line with our 7-day forecast overall, and it looks like most of the country is going to be in that same situation. As far as the 30-day outlook, the month ahead, equal chances as far as temperatures being near average across most of Nebraska, all of Kansas, the exception above average over the northern tier of Nebraska and a big share of Nebraska's panhandle as well. 90 days temperature-wise, that would include the winter, obviously, or a big share of it for 2014. Near normal across Nebraska and Kansas as far as temperatures are concerned. We look at the 6 to 10 day outlook precipitation-wise, below normal across southern Nebraska, all of Kansas, and then near average, basically the northern half of Nebraska east to west, and above normal over the northern portion of the U.S., the Pacific Northwest, the Great Lakes region, and of course that below normal is down to the deep south as well. Precipitation 30 days out, equal chances of normal precip across Nebraska and Kansas. Above normal in the south, below normal in the Great Lakes region, but it looks like most of the country will see the average coming true. 90 days precipitation-wise the next 3 months, near normal across Nebraska and Kansas. Below normal, Great Lakes, and above average in the deep south. Well, this week ahead, the normal is generally around 61 degrees for a high. And you're going to see this change each and every week by anywhere from 3 to even 5 degrees cooler on average. And the average low overnight should generally be about 36. We're looking this week just a little bit above average, around 63 for highs, and lows right around 41. Not much of a proverb here. It's this: tree snapping and cracking in the fall indicates cold weather. Well, with all my broken bones, they kind of snap and crackle and pop even, and maybe that's a sign it's cold out. That is a look at your grow weather for this week. You send us some great pictures each and every week, and this week we have more.
Discussing that while we were looking at the numbers that, soybeans really jumping up.
They have been.
And so what's been really behind these grain markets? What's driving them?
Yeah, we're seeing a strong move in beans, and soybeans has really been kind of the key here lately, and it's been focused on 3 areas. Dry conditions in South America. We're definitely a very global market. Now they're looking like they're going to start getting some rain, but it has been very dry down there as they're trying to get their crop planted. Also, harvest pace.
Yes.
It's been going too slow.
Can you believe it?
I know, especially in the Eastern Corn Belt. And as a result, what that's done is it's made not enough soybeans get to market quick enough. And that's led to very strong meal demand and the meal demand has given the speculators the confidence to continue to buy it, and that's really what's given us our strength on the beans. Spilled over into corn and wheat also.
But really, and was it wheat we were talking about too, where you're like, a lot of those prices are below break even. So if a lot of people right now, if they want to sell now, they're not going to make money.
They're not, and that brings up our next thing. And
Yeah.
you know, the focus of the market right now is on those items we just talked about. But as we move forward over the next 6 weeks, what we're going to end up seeing is the market's going to be really concerned about how big were the crops. And then from there, the big concern is going to be, is the farmer going to go ahead and sell those bushels? And because there's a lot of demand, we have to keep moving those bushels along. But you're right, Marilyn, everybody's focused on, can they make money?
And so when will we focus on the 2015 crop? When will Owners focus on that?
Seems like a long ways out,
Yeah,
doesn't
it
it?
does.
But the focus is definitely going to come to that very quickly. As soon as we go ahead and get past really harvest and we start getting the grain in the bins, everybody's going to start talking about next year's acres. They're going to start meeting with our loan officers, talking about the size of the loans they need. And as a result, we'll see a lot of talk about that. And what we get concerned about, big picture, this is a little bit longer view, is that we still have too many acres in production. We need to probably reduce the amount of acres that are planted. The challenging part is, how does that happen? And we'll have to talk more about that in future segments.
That's interesting to see how that's going to happen,
It
for
is.
sure. Thank you so much, Jeff. If you have questions, remember, you can always go to our website, nebraska.tv, click on NTV's Grow.
Don't forget to send your photos, especially those harvest selfies. Email us, grow@nebraska.tv, or post to us on Facebook or Twitter. And when we come back, we talk with that Egyptian trade delegation, learning more here in Nebraska.